The moment Sonia Uche pressed that go live button, you could almost feel the internet take a deep breath like, okay, what is our queen coming to say today? Because whenever Sonia goes live, it's never just vibes, there's always a sprinkle of truth, a dash of drama, and a whole pot of unexpected buzz waiting to spill over. And that evening, my dear, it felt like the kind of live video you watch with one eye open, waiting for the moment the plot twist lands like thunder. At first, the screen came on a little blurry, the sound crackled small, and she kept adjusting her camera like a woman trying to choose the perfect angle that won't betray her. And just when everyone thought she wanted to start with her usual soft voice, she surprised everybody with something nobody saw coming, a straight, genuine apology that felt like a cold water splash in a hot Nigerian afternoon. She confessed she felt terrible for not uploading the movie she promised on Wednesday. And in that moment, you could tell she wasn't acting, she meant every single word. She took a deep breath, brushed her wig lightly like it had offended her earlier, and started explaining the whole love and mischief matter. She even forgot the title at first, and the comments were already dragging her jokingly like, "Madam Producer, how can you forget your own movie?" But she laughed it off, reminding fans that even though her own channel didn't upload something new, another channel had already blessed them with entertainment. What a multitasking queen. Then she started talking about her birthday, and that was where the entire plot thickened like ogbono. Apparently, her fans decided to outdo themselves this year. Gifts were already dropping before her birthday even reached. She explained how she was on set minding her business, rehearsing lines and sipping water, when suddenly her producer dragged her like, "Come outside first, I beg." Next thing she knew, fans had pulled up with gifts like Santa Claus doing end-of-month promo. She couldn't even fake surprise because the shock was real. She looked like someone whose brain traveled out of her body for 5 seconds trying to process how fans managed to enter the movie set without causing commotion. But before she even recovered, another set of fans appeared again with more gifts. At that point, even Sonia herself admitted that her fan base is starting to look like a spiritual assignment. She got emotional while explaining how overwhelming the love felt. She said sometimes she sits alone and asks God, "Why me?" Not in a bad way, but in that humble, confused, grateful tone that makes you want to hug your phone. She said the love she receives is not something she takes lightly, especially in an industry filled with hundreds of talented people. According to her, it can only be God's grace and favor, which, as she reminded everyone, is literally the meaning of her name Ehoma. Then someone asked about Ruby Ojaika's wedding, and the internet almost caught fire. Sonia, in her calm signature way, smiled softly and said, "We weren't around. No drama. No shade. No hidden message. Just pure simplicity." But trust fans, the comment section still managed to analyze that simple sentence like they were writing a university project. She explained that she didn't do any big birthday celebration personally. No loud party, no hall rentals, no expensive decorators. Everything people saw online were the pictures and videos she posted. The real celebrations were orchestrated by fans, not her. And honestly, it made her sound even more grounded. At one point, she paused, crossed her legs like a queen sitting in her palace, and pleaded with fans to keep supporting her brand. You could hear the sincerity dripping from her voice. She promised to always give her best, even though sometimes her best feels like it's not enough. But she's trying. She's learning. She's pushing, and it's obvious that her effort is showing. Then she dropped a bombshell that many people didn't expect: her workload has doubled. She's no longer just an actress reading scripts and interpreting characters. Now she's behind the camera too, selecting actors, reading scripts, overseeing scenes, ensuring everything looks exactly like what she envisioned. She admitted it's exhausting, but she's learning to cope. Honestly, it sounded like she's wearing 3 wigs at once: actor wig, producer wig, and director wig. Another fan commented about promotions, saying she needs to start dropping teasers before movies drop. Sonia laughed and agreed. She promised to do better, maybe not this very week because life is life ing, but definitely moving forward. She said she'll start giving fans small appetizers before serving the main movie. Somebody mentioned comedy and romance, and she burst into laughter. It seems people want both at the same time, romance that will make you blush and comedy that will scatter your week. She promised to look into it, even though managing genres is like balancing a pot of soup on your head while dancing a zonto. When asked how she interprets her roles so effortlessly, she simply said she imagines herself in the character's situation. As simple as that. No complicated method acting. No dramatic process. Just pure imagination and emotional intelligence. Very Sonia. Very effortless. Another moment that cracked everyone up was when she confessed she's actually an introvert. She said she tries to be social sometimes, but once her social battery dies, she switches off like Bluetooth that just disconnected from speaker. And honestly, relatable. Fans asked her to give them a day in the life of Sonia, and she said she'll try. So now we're expecting behind-the-scenes moments, unfiltered chaos, wig-on wig-off transformations, and all the madness of Nollywood production. She promised to deliver. Then she addressed one of the biggest rumors flying around the internet, marriage. In her most serious tone of the night, she made it clear she is not married. She does not have a child. And she will never waste her energy trying to correct bloggers who manufacture stories for money. Her message was simple: if she didn't say it, it's not true. Somebody dropped a comment about a fine boy from Valentine's Day, and Sonia literally screamed. She laughed so hard and said she doesn't even know the boy fans are talking about. She begged them to stop dragging her into unnecessary romance plots that Nollywood hasn't approved. Midway through the live, Nipa did what Nipa does best: the light went off. But Sonia, being a true Nigerian queen, just laughed and kept talking like nothing happened. Fans were dropping comments like, "Nipa has entered the chat," and the whole life turned into accidental comedy. At some point, she joked about learning TikTok dances. She said maybe she needs to join Gen Z dancers to promote her movies. But she's not mentally prepared for the pressure of shaking waist on camera every day. She said she respects TikTok influencers because that job requires courage she hasn't developed yet. Someone asked how many scripts she reads in a month, and Sonia replied with a subtle clap back, "How many movies have you seen?" The whole comment section exploded with laughing emojis. She wasn't rude, just funny in that calm, sarcastic Sonia style. She also shared her weak struggles, saying she's not even a weak person, but circumstances have forced her into weak life. Between acting, producing, and public appearances, wigs have become a compulsory part of her uniform. But in real life, she likes her comfy, simple look. Very relatable woman behavior. She kept talking, gently adjusting her chair, smiling at comments, responding to people like she was chatting with close friends. And that's one thing about Sonia, she makes her fans feel seen. As the live continued, she explained even more personal things. She talked about how overwhelming fame can get and how sometimes she wishes she could just walk freely without phones recording her. But at the same time, she feels deeply grateful for the love and attention she receives. A fan asked if she ever gets tired of acting, and she admitted there are days it feels stressful. But the passion keeps her going. She said once she steps on set and hears action, everything inside her lights up again. Someone mentioned her sisters, and she smiled fondly. She spoke briefly about her family, saying they've been her strongest support system. But she kept it short because she tries to keep her family out of internet walla. She talked about how fans sometimes drag her into drama she didn't apply for. She finds it funny most times, but other times she wonders how people come up with such wild stories. According to her, she's always the last to hear gossip about herself. Another fan asked if she plans to travel soon, and she hinted that she might, depending on her movie schedule. She said she loves traveling but hates packing. Another relatable queen behavior. As the live went on, she got playful, teasing fans in the comments, reading their jokes, laughing loudly, and sometimes pretending to be offended in a funny, dramatic way. It felt like watching a big sister gist with her younger siblings. Then she returned to gratitude. She thanked everyone again and again, emphasizing how blessed she feels to have such supportive fans. She said she doesn't take it for granted. She said she prays for her fans often, and she hopes everything they wish her comes back to them double. She wished them joy, peace, and favor in the new month of June. The entire life felt like a warm hug wrapped in chaotic Nigerian humor. It was emotional, funny, real, honest, and full of personality. And as she prepared to end the live, she promised to join TikTok for at least 30 minutes. Fans screamed in the comments like they just won a lottery. Finally, she waved goodbye with that sweet smile of hers, leaving everyone feeling lighter, happier, and strangely connected to her world. So if you missed the live, my dear, you missed premium content. But don't worry, because this gist has carried everything for you, from laughter to confessions to unexpected nipple disturbances. And if you want more updates like this, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, tap subscribe, turn on your notification bell, share this gist with your friends, and stay tuned because the gist never ends on this side. Whenever Sonia breathes, we'll bring the update hot and fresh.